Salve mates, I hope everything is covered in Italian sunshine in your life. Today I will be reading some real ancient jokes from a book I recently discovered, and it's the oldest surviving joke book compiled in late antiquity, probably around 4th or 5th century AD. Many of these jokes revolve around a character called the scholastikos, basically a learned man or an intellectual who, despite his education, behaves like a total, complete fool. Think of him as an ancient version of an English know-it-all German Klugscheißer who lacks common sense. Now, keep in mind, these jokes are over 1,000 years old. Humor was different back then. Also, I'm not a professional comedian exactly, so to help you out, I will play a little liar sound after each joke, just so you know when to laugh. A scholasticos who was honored as a speechwriter, delivering a funeral orations, wrote a funeral speech for a man who was still alive. When the man complained about him in court, the scholasticos said, "Since you never inform me in advance when you are going to die, surely you do not expect me to disgrace myself by speaking without preparation." At a celebration of Rome's 1000th anniversary, a scholasticus saw an athlete weeping after defeat and tried to console him. "Do not be sad, you will win again at the next millennium celebration." A scholasticus wanted to swim and nearly drowned. He swore he would not enter the water again until he learned how to swim. Oh, we got a first slave joke. When a scholasticus was preparing to travel abroad, his friend told him, "Please buy me 2 slaves, both 15 years old." The scholasticus replied, "Well, if I don't find such ones, I will buy you 1 30-year-old. A friend wrote to Scholasticos staying in Greece, asking him to buy books. The friends forgot about it, and when they later met, he said, "The letter that you sent me about the books, I never received it." Someone said to a Scholasticos at a meeting, "The slave that you sold me has died." "Good heavens," said the Scholasticos, "when he was with me, he never did anything like this." A scholasticus met another scholasticus and said, "I heard that you were dead." The other replied, "As you can see, I'm still alive." No, that's not the punchline. And the first said, "Indeed, but my informant is far more trustworthy than you." A scholasticus wrote proudly to his father in Athens that he had completed his law studies and added at the end, "I look forward to finding you at home, father, facing the death penalty in court so that I may demonstrate to you my law studies as a real advocate." Oh, this one is really dark. Oh, this one is my favorite. One resourceful scholasticus could not afford his living expenses, so he sold off his books. In a letter to his father, he wrote, "Father, congratulate me. I'm finally making a living of my books." After the death of his friend, Scholasticus visited his grieving parents. The father lamented, "My child, you have ruined me." The mother said, "My son, you have taken away the light of my life." And the Scholasticus said to the parents, oh my god, and the Scholasticus said to the parents, if he really was like this, he should have been burned alive. No liar. This one is a classic boomer humor. A man came to Scholasticus, who was a doctor, and said, "Doctor, whenever I wake up I feel dizzy for half hour, and only then I return to normal." The doctor replied, "Well then, wake up after that half an hour." A Scholasticus was assisting a judge who was blind in his right eye. Once they went out to check a disputed vineyard. The judge praised the vines growing on the left side. The Scholasticos remarked, and when we go back down, you will surely like the other half as well. The first disabled joke. When a Scholasticos entered the temple of Serapis, a priest handed him a sacred branch and said, "May the master be gracious to you." The Scholasticos replied, "May the master be gracious to my gardener, who is a slave. I am a free man, and I have no master." A Scholasticos buried his son. When he met the boy's teacher, he said, "Forgive me that my son did not come to school. He has died." And a final one. A Scholasticos received a piece of cloth as an example of width and length, so that he could buy one of the same size at a market. And he then asked which side was the width and which was the length. Okay, that's it. Ancient jokes over 1500 years old. As it turns out, the boomer humor hasn't changed that much. So, see you in the next one. Stay strong.